Hey, it's Ashley from Westcott, and today I'm going to show you how to modify sunlight to get better at natural light portraits. As a photographer, the sun is one of the most important tools for shooting on location. And while the sun offers an incredibly bright light source, learning how to control its intensity and direction can elevate your photography. In this video, I'll share with you some tips to help you modify sunlight, using techniques such as diffusing, reflecting, and darkening your backgrounds. This will help you create some dynamic portraits. The first technique that I want to share with you is how to diffuse sunlight. As most photographers know, one of the best places to shoot outdoors is in a shaded area. This makes it so the natural light hitting your subject is soft and even. Sometimes this just isn't an option though, and you must shoot in hard direct sunlight. This can result in harsh shadows and overly bright highlights. A quick and easy solution for this is to bring your own shade. By placing a diffused material between the sun and your subject, you can quickly and easily diffuse the natural light to get soft, even lighting. For the shoot, I use a 7-foot diffusion umbrella for my diffused material, but you can do this with any type of diffusion. You can use things like the diffusion panel that comes from the 5-in-1 reflector, or even a scrim. The important part is making sure the diffusion is large enough to cover your entire subject. By simply placing my 7-foot diffusion umbrella between the sun and my subject, I'm able to create a soft, even lighting that is flattering for my subject. While this technique is very simple, it's also very effective and help you combat that midday harsh sunlight. Next, let's talk about bouncing and redirecting light. Reflector panels are an incredibly useful tool for controlling natural light. By bouncing sunlight off of them, you can redirect the light and control the light directions. When looking at size, the larger the reflector, the more light coverage you're going to get. So if you're doing headshots, you can use a smaller reflector like a 30-inch. But if you're going full body or with groups, you're going to want a bigger reflector like a 50-inch. For this shoot, I'm going to be using Westcott's 40-inch 5-in-1 collapsible reflector. It's going to give me a bit more coverage than what I need, but will ensure that I have even lighting throughout the image. And I'm also going to choose to use a silver surface because I want to maximize my light output and give my subject a look like she's being lit with off-camera flash while still only using the sun. During the shoot, my subject was in a shaded area, which created a soft, flattering light, but for this shot, I wanted to make it so she was popping off of the background. By using a reflector, I was able to add in an additional light source and make it so my subject was brighter than the background. I simply had my assistant stand in the sunny area close to the shaded area we were shooting in and bounce the light onto my subject. When using a reflector, light direction is important to keep in mind. Since reflectors are acting as a second light source, you want to make sure it's not too low. If the reflected light is too low, you'll get a lighting pattern called underlighting, and this is traditionally considered unflattering on your subject. Using a reflector is one of the most versatile ways to modify sunlight when working on location. It can be useful in many different situations. For example, you can use them in backlight situations where the sun is backlighting your subject, and you need to add in just a little bit of light to help illuminate the subject's face. It's also helpful in situations where the sun is directly overhead, and you need a little bit of fill light to help fill in the shadows under your subject's chin and eyes. Reflectors are the perfect on-location tool, whether you're looking for a soft fill light or dramatic lighting. In certain situations where you may want to darken the background and draw focus to your subject or create a moodier atmosphere, nets like those used on scrim are a versatile tool for controlling sunlight and shading backgrounds. Since they are made of thin black threads, the camera cannot pick up on the pattern of the net, especially when shooting at larger apertures, for example below f4. This blurs the pattern of the net and creates a darker scene behind your subject. By placing the net behind your subject, you're able to darken just the background, by a stop or two depending on what net you're using. Here I'm using a 2-stop net, so my background is going to be 2 stops darker than my subject, allowing for my subject to be the focus of the image. Just like reflectors, nets come in many different sizes and can range anywhere between a 4-foot by 4-foot to an 8-foot by 8-foot frame. When picking a size, you want to consider what you're photographing and how much of the background you want in your composition. For the shoot, I was aiming to shoot a close-up shot of a single subject, so I was able to use a 4 by 4-foot net on my scrim. Experimentation is key to mastering sunlight modification. Take time to familiarize yourself with each technique and understand how each influences the mood and quality of your images. Once you get a handle of one of these techniques, you can always combine several of them for even more control over sunlight. Whether you're shooting portraits or still light, controlling natural light through diffusing, reflecting, or shading can elevate your photography. Let me know in the comments below which of these techniques you're most excited to try, and as always, thank you for watching.